Welcome to this session of NTV People's Parliament, still seated here in Kamuli district. Agnes Nandutu, the Speaker of the People's Parliament, presides. Madam Speaker, several studies have shown Busoga region as having one of the highest incidents of gender-based violence and high levels of poverty. Women and young girls are the major victims of sexual and gender-based violence that curtails their potential to be productive in society. It's against this background, therefore, that I suggest we discuss the nexus between poverty and gender-based violence.
Those in favor, aye. To the contrary, no? Ayes have it. Thank you very much, honorable members, for coming to participate in this honorable house. You are watching NTV People's Parliament, still sitting here in Kamuli district in the sub-region of Busoga. And the topic is the relationship between gender-based violence and poverty. Honorable members, we want to discuss this very important topic. Why do we have poverty? Why do we have escalating levels of poverty in our district? And also gender-based violence is on the rise. What is the problem? And how can we solve it?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Poverty is widespread, not only in Busoga, but all over the low developing countries. So when it comes to Busoga here, I think poverty is being caused by lack of attitude towards change. When we talk of modern farming, there's a low rate of adoption to modern farming. Because when there is modern farming, I think we shall improve our crop yields and sell into large quantities. Now, what is the relationship between poverty and gender-based violence? I think poverty causes gender-based violence. When a family is poor, when there is poverty in the family, you find that a man comes back, tries to tell the wife, ask for food, the wife tells you have not left
food that
money.
He hasn't bought.
Yeah. When the man has not left the money to buy food, which results in again violence. You find a man beating the wife, and once a man beats the wife, that home is not going to be together to plan to eradicate poverty. You find the lady going to other area to the parents, and the man stays alone. And you find that even when there is violence, the children will not go to school. There will be no amicable solution. Why should to take a children to school? You will find that even they will not plan what to sell. They will not what to cultivate. So the violence will be escalating because of poverty.
Yes.
Yeah, because of poverty and even alcoholism. You find in most cases, most poor families, most of the men are drunkards. With that alcoholism, the man comes back drunk. And as he's drunk, he will not listen to any demand from them. He will forget his responsibility. And once the man forgets the responsibility, he will become violent because of poverty. Once you are poor, the home will not be stable, there will be quarrels. And that's, I think, how I see the relationship between poverty and the gender-based violence.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Yes, Honorable Member holding the podium. You are a man from the media, and I'm sure you have done a lot of research in Busoga and Kamuli in particular.
Definitely.
What is the relationship between gender-based violence and poverty?
Thank you very much. Once again, this is Sharif. I refer to myself as Uganda's celebrated self-appointed RDC. I hail from Biende District, Budiope West, Nkondo Sub-County, from Kasogwere village. I think this issue is escalating simply because from the research I have conducted as a person from media, it is in Busoga where we have a very, very, very big wasted population. What do I mean? We have so many people, the younger age, that is dropping out of school to start homes, to start marriages. And these people, surprisingly enough, they are being supported by their parents. A kid from P6, a boy who is 16 years of age, impregnates a 14-year-old. And then at the end of the day, they say, okay, we are giving you 2 cows, but you are taking our daughter. So 2 younger people begin a family with only one intention of sexual excitement. That is
And
their
have
business.
children.
And to have children. When it comes to the developmental aspect, they have nothing to do with that. They are these people, when there is a case, a defilement case at police, they're the very people who they call, please, my son has done this, how do you help me? And the very guys who call the police, instructing, please, let these people set this thing out of court, out of police. So, I think in Busoga, unless we have a very, very, very good strategic and a well-focused leadership, gender-based violence based on poverty is going to escalate. And I think the women, they have failed to differentiate between love and marriage. Love is all about care and sweet talking. Marriage is a responsibility. We have so many mothers who have gotten into marriages without any intention. Somebody is not scared of going into the labor ward every year. You are producing a family that you cannot afford. The men are also saying, hey, today I have raised, my family is now 10 times than it was 10 years ago. Then that means I can no longer manage this family. The men are running away. The women are opting for a side dish.
Oh,
they say, okay, let me get somebody who can help me to accommodate the family.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Member, for that contribution.
I'm Buyinza Anthony.
Honorable.
Honorable Buyinza Anthony. Poverty is increasing in Busoga because of the following reasons.
Please.
One, we talk about natural disasters. For example, our climate is changing. There is prolonged drought. We Ugandans, or people of Kamuli, we depend on agriculture. So you end up not harvesting what you are assumed to get. Another issue which is bringing about poverty, our education system is theoretical in nature. It is not in practical. We study using the blackboards, but when you leave school, you are not employed. So the government should encourage practical work. For example, those ones who go for carpentry, after studying such, you can't practice.
Self-employment.
Yeah. I can talk about the issue of laziness among the youth. When I was coming here, I found some gentlemen who can dig, but they were just playing cards. That is what is bringing about increased poverty in Kamuli.
That's unfortunate. Thank you, Honorable Member. Yes, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Honorable Okelo Dennis.
And you are a youth.
And I'm a youth.
Your fellow youth has said you are very lazy, you the youth people.
Okay, now, to me, what I've discovered, what brought poverty to we in Busoga here, is that we have poor saving methods. Me, I come from Balaoli down there, Balaoli sub-county, a village called Nawanga is there. We have a neighbor. Last Tuesday, we have a market down there called Nawantale. This is a man, when he took his goat and he sold a goat of 80,000 around there. And about 50,000 in the market he used to consume. Use all the 50. And he came back home with the 30. And that 30 also, on the way, he want to be in a pitchy, he want to give those, those side dish and what. So we have a problem, a method of what? Saving. So by the time you finish all that money, you have sold the goat, you come back home, and what the lady, your wife has, maybe he has also went to somewhere to get some money, and he also bought her small chick, and he has grown of this size, and he is there, started laying eggs. Now we start pocketing the eggs, and take and what? To get some money to go and buy waragi and what. So those are all the things. You must know how to what? To save. Let's plan. if you get something like 10,000, let's put it in the right position. You spend this and use this one. Spend this, like you can spend 4,000 and use 6,000 to maybe for about 30 days to come, to consume.
Okay.
That's the way of planning.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Yes, you have heard from the people of Kamuli on the link between poverty and gender-based violence. Yes, you are a lady, Honorable Member. What is the relationship? How is the poverty linked to gender-based violence? You have the podium, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Once again, Honorable Navunana Mary Lillian. The relationship between gender-based violence and poverty, to me, I see that because of poverty, most of the girls have been violated sexually, in that because they are lacking certain necessities, especially in schools, you find that a man can come and then convince this girl with gifts. In the end, the girl gives in herself because there are certain things that she's lacking right from home. So you find that this girl is being violated sexually, and at times, girls are being raped because they have eaten money from the men. So that's how I see that poverty has caused that gender-based violence. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Member. Yes, you have the floor, Honorable Member.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Once again, I'm Namsavi Margaret. To me, my point is, polygamy in Kamuli district has caused more harm than good.
Men are having too many wives.
Even more than 2. And yet in the long run, you can find that this man has no enough land, but he's having 3 women, whereby these women cannot even go for cultivation. And yet this man may not be even a working class. In the long run, you find that a woman is tempted to go somewhere, there gender-based violence comes in. And at the same time, poverty is the one which has caused this lady to misbehave. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member. You have heard for yourselves, you men who are opting to have very many wives, you have caused poverty and gender-based violence. Let's go for a short break, and when we come back, we are going to talk about experiences of poverty and gender-based violence, because there are very many young girls who have been raped in this district. There are very many women who have been beaten by their husbands, and we are going to hear more from them. Welcome back. You are still watching NTV People's Parliament. Your parliament, my parliament. You are free to come and air out issues that affect your lives, like the people of Kamuli are doing. They have come, sat in this parliament, and they're actually airing out issues that affect them as the people of Uganda. Let's talk about, we have some experiences of rape. Do we have any experiences of rape?
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. We have these people with disability coming from the Destiny Vocational College at Kamuli Saza Road. So he's saying that what causes gender and violence, that these people which have disability in their bodies, they go around and they were squeezed with the other gentlemen and they force them sex. So they want the government, police, to make it, to take care about that.
What exactly do they want?
He told us that they want the government to see that if this young girl get pregnant, they can take care about that delivery. And if someone has made defilement to her, they want special case for that man or younger boy. If they take the case to the police, they just say that you write. But that one cannot know how to write, cannot know how to read. And they just just say that you go and look for someone which interpret it. And according to this one is from Buyende, does not have anyone which interpreted that. That one it she's saying that it can get somebody to help, at least in a district, to have that interpret. And he's also going on saying that their mothers and their parents, some of them, they have many wives or ladies. So they are not bother against them because they have the people with disability and they are their bodies. They cannot talk, they cannot do what? They care about the others which can talk, which are bright. But this one is taking the course of tailoring in our college. He's saying that this one, it is his family, you have only one. But the other one which are what? They are talking, they are many. And they are caring about the other one. Because if you are find out in the Buyende, Kaliro and the Kamuli, there is no school which can cater for this one. Unless take Destiny, Kamuli College, located at Saza Road, which is can help this one. So let us
Thank you for airing out your issues.
Poverty is caused by very many things, and one of them is that poverty is caused by the education system which is taking place in our country. It trains people for office jobs which are not there. So they end up being violated. Others they go for house girls, then others they go for house boys, in a way that when you study and you have no where to go and work, you are violated, you end up just discriminated by those ones who are above you. So, in my request, I say that through the Honorable Speaker of the Parliament, we request that let us support the vocational education, which is of more value.
Madam Speaker, I'm Mugoya Siraj from Kamuli Neighborhood Assembly. As has said here on the floor, we men, we are just hiring the land. And we are being attracted by that small money. For example, an acre, to hire an acre, it is 0.3. That is not money. And that money, when these men they put in their pockets, they go, they use that money, drinking, they are given to their girlfriends.
So instead of digging, plowing their land, they are hiring it out for money.
Then after spending that money, that 0.3 with that acre, they are left with nothing. They don't have food. And when the ladies ask them, their wives, hello, husband, we are having four children. Where is the money? Instead of saying, madam, I use the money in such a way, like this and that, they end up in fighting.
They batter the women.
They beat the women. And the result resulted in hospitals.
Thank you. Thank you for that contribution, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm Andrew Bwamich from Butan Sub-County. Poverty is now a problem as a result of ignorance. The fact is that people do not know, the extent that they don't know that they are poor. People are taking poverty as a norm. That because the grands were poor, they see poverty as not a problem. And because they don't know, and people, if you don't know that something is a problem, you can never get out of a problem. Because if you have to get out of a problem, you must know it, and then you find the solution is. But people, they are reluctant, seated, because the situation.
There is
we are
a lot
living-
of laziness.
Yeah.
That
don't
is
know.
too bad.
Another
Honorable member, just a moment. Honorable member, why are you hiring your land out?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Honorable Mr. David. Many of Busoga, most of them don't want to work. They don't want tiresome work. They want just to sit, go and play. They leave almost every activity for the ladies. That's why they hire their land, because they don't want tiresome work.
Thank you. Thank you, you honorable lady. You have a lot of things that you're mentioning, but you don't want. Can you take up the podium, please? Young man, you have had your contribution.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Honorable Mdondo Zam from Bhutan Sub-County. The biggest percentage of youth, they decided to go to run from villages to urban areas, making those
Okay,
younger
thank you,
ones.
honorable member. The lady, honorable member is telling us about the youth. The youth are running away from rural areas where they're supposed to plow land. They are going to urban areas. They don't want to dig. Yes, honorable member.
Madam Speaker, I just want to put some records straight.
Yes.
First of all, there's an impression that Busoga is the poorest in the country. That's absolutely not true.
One of the poorest.
If you look at the national statistics, for instance, we have districts participating in the pilot scheme for paying the elderly some money. None of the Busoga districts is participating because our statistics show that we are not as poor as we are portrayed. But it is also true that we are relatively poor. I will not take it. It is true that we are relatively poor, and I want to give some reasons. First of all, this issue of gender-based violence, the statistics in our probation office here in Kamuli show that families that are falling apart have been together for a period of 15 to 25 years. And the people are in the age group ranging from 40 to 50 years. That's the majority who run to the probation office. Why? Because in their marriages, they are not meeting expectations. Frustration is a product of people's expectations. So when couples come together, they have different expectations. More often than not, they get a little richer than they were. The tendency is one of the pairs will not resist the other. You'll find men marrying other women because these look much older than they were. Or you find women not tolerating the continuous poverty, thereby breaking their marriages. So that is something we must deal with. The other one is that we also have attitude issues. When I was growing up, somebody in the village used to tell me that, my son, never accept a job which will make you leave your wife in your bed. It should always be the wife to get out of bed before you. What does it mean? It means that men will not leave their homes to go and work far. If you go to Kachira Sugar Works, 98% of the plantation workers are not from Busoga. They are mainly from West Nile, from Acholi, because the people don't want to leave their wives in the beds. Now, because of that, you end up people not generating enough resources to sustain their home.
And yet having more children.
Yes, having more children, and they don't have enough resources to sustain their families. Now, as the domestic pressures increase, the women have no option but to continue asking because the husbands are supposed to provide. And as somebody is asked, they get irritated and end up fighting, which is very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
What do we need to do? We must get everybody on board to work. Because for me, I don't work in the gardens, but I provide the money to help my wife in the gardens if necessary. Yes, because I don't have the strength to work in the gardens, but I put in more resources than her effort, as her personal effort. Other men, if you can't do like what I'm doing, do it another way. But we must all be involved in the production, otherwise we cannot hold the homes together. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Yes, you had your hand up.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As per today's discussion, when you look at gender-based violence, it contains all sorts of forms, physically, socially,
emotionally, then economically, of which poverty is part of gender-based violence. Why am I saying so? Previously, Kamuli district was ranked as a district that is having more of the so-called girls who are not above 18, who are getting married and pregnant before they expect their marriages. Secondly, parents have denied their children the rights and responsibilities. Why? If a case happens, instead of acting upon the problem, they go on negotiating such that at least they give him something because there is nothing to put in his pocket. And in the end, you find they are violating this small girl who cannot find anywhere to go or at least have somewhere to earn a living. So gender-based violence is part of poverty. It has done much. Even men go on violating the women in their homes.
Because they are poor.
Because they are poor.
So they end up battering women.
They end up battering when a woman says, today I'm not having some money to buy salt. At least you assist me. I don't have that time. Why are you disturbing me? I'm thinking about school fees.
That is unfortunate. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Gender-based violence and poverty in Kamuli district. Let's go for a short break, and when we come back, we are going to look at more of the solutions and resolutions of what we can do to bring down the levels of poverty and the gender-based violence in this district. Welcome back. You are still watching NTV People's Parliament, still sitting here in Kamuli district. Yes, honorable members, we are talking about poverty leading to gender-based violence. But if poverty is going to be there for 100 years, will you continue battering your wives because there is poverty? So what are the solutions?
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
And speak to the people.
The first solution, we need to have community sensitization and awareness, where we find that we have community-based participation approach, that people get to know the dangers of gender-based violence. And through mainstreaming the information about gender-based violence into training and community meetings. Members of the public, whenever we have meetings, should have the information about the gender-based information, and then encouraging women to take part in decision making. And then another one should be to encourage and monitor alternative dispute resolution in communities, and also to bring in or to initiate legal awareness campaigns on gender-based violence. On poverty, I would say we need to develop a positive attitude towards work. Our people should be encouraged to work. And also, we need to have a good leadership or quality leadership that really can identify the best practices, what can really work in Busoga, and then we put a lot of effort. We have policy directions that we can help our people to move out of poverty.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, honorable member. I think poverty should be driving you to work, honorable members, because you can't sleep hungry and you continue sleeping. I think poverty should drive you towards digging, towards working in order to educate your family. Yes, honorable member, what are the solutions to this escalating poverty and
Madam
gender-based
Speaker,
violence?
let me take this opportunity to come up with these solutions. One, I've tried to hear out 5 points, whereby I've seen that there is a great concern. There is level of education, cultural beliefs, migration, lack of employment, and limited resources. But all of this, they need community sensitization, and then have
community dialogue meetings at all levels. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Just in 1 minute, please, give your solution.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I have one point to make, and mine is concerning with the government as a concerned citizen. I have this mind that the government, when it is issuing out licenses, for instance, to these sports betting companies, it should not only look on the other aspect of revenue, the money that it collects from these companies. Because these sports betting companies, if you went into Kamuli Town Council, there are over 10 operating. They are the one companies that are giving the youth a negative attitude towards work in a disguise of going, okay, let me go today, wake up,
so what should be done to these sports betting companies?
The government should come up with very strict laws that can govern these betting companies, because you are finding out people are not working because they are expecting they will go and sell a goat they have raised for 2 years. In this case of you go, you get 2 matches, you bet on them, and you win $1 million and you become a millionaire from nowhere.
That is unfortunate. Actually, when you go to not only Kamuli district, but when you go around the country, there are very many people who are engaged in sports betting. What are the solutions to alleviate this poverty and gender-based violence? Honorable Member?
Laws are there in place. They are not new. But the political will to fight those people violating the laws is not there. It is lacking. It is only the government which needs to strengthen and to see to it that those culprits are punished. Otherwise, the laws are in place. You may find that a lot of strategies have been put in place to eradicate poverty. But you will find that we have some members of the public or some elected members who have misused these opportunities. In
and
such
it is
that
upon
they are
you
so
the people
corrupt.
to change their attitude.
Yes.
Just as one honorable member has said. Thank you so much. Yes, honorable member, what is the way forward?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Luvale George, Honorable Luvale George from Chisozi. Madam Speaker, these community development officers should at least help families to work together. If the families work together to attain money, the issue of domestic violence will be alleviated. And there are some issues which are being attributed to us in certain companies. There is a machine which was attributed from Nairobi there. It was named Family Life Success, and it irrigates. If that machine is used in a family, you can attain money. Even though it is the drought season like this, you can attain money. But when money is available in a household, in a family, no domestic violence should be seen. Madam Speaker, I've got a slogan here, so thank you. I've got a slogan here which says, a man's success does not depend on how much money he has, but what kind of family has he brought up. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, honorable member. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, honorable members. Change the approach from criminalization to social resettlement, where currently, if you find a man who has abused his wife, what is done is to criminalize that man instead of resettling the house. Yet we don't have the capacity even to follow up those criminal cases. 2 is to give positive publicity. Most of the forums that are advocating for elimination of gender domestic violence publicize the negative part of it. They hardly publicize even the positive achievements, meaning that maybe they are telling the public that it is good to punish or to violate the rights of your home people. Then another thing is changing the perception, because most people who are advocating for eradication of gender-based violence, they think that it is in only poor families where there is gender-based violence, which is not true. The fact is that if a family is poor, they will be happy. But once there is a change in that current status quo, there will always be gender-based violence.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Yes, I will forward.
I would like to comment about gender equity. In our homes, most of them, we don't have gender equity. During the time of selling our crops or during the market, we sell our crops, especially women only. But we don't involve our children, our wives, so that also has caused a lot of gender-based violence. Wampand Joffrey.
That is unfortunate, Honorable Members. Yes, self-styled RDC, what is your way forward?
Yeah, as we wind up, Madam Speaker and honorable members, I think we must adopt a holistic approach towards alleviation of poverty and gender-based violence in our homes. Let us, as leaders, come up and we get tired of gender-based violence in our homes. Don't think if your neighbor is battering the wife,
They are hiding behind the poverty that's causing domestic violence.
Never. It is not one issue that is bringing all about poverty. It is a multi-sectoral factors. We should look at, I think we should also look at the way how we are bringing up our children. You know, we must change and we go back to the traditional way of how we were brought up. Our parents never let us do such acts in families. But why is it that it is coming up now? It's because you have given your children a lot of liberty because you're emphasizing children's rights, forgetting their responsibilities. So I think we should adopt a multi-sectoral approach, a holistic approach. Let us get tired of all these wrangles in our families as leaders, and let us emphasize, let us put up bylaws in our communities that protect such acts of gender-based violence.
Thank you, self-styled RDC.
Thank you so much.
Gentlemen, please. To the gentlemen, stop hiding behind poverty. It is not the wives that cause poverty in your homes. Then you begin battering women because you have not brought food on the table. Yes, Honorable Member, what is the way forward?
Once again, Mugoya Siraji. Madam Speaker, for me, I propose and request the local leaders and appointed leaders that they should come in and make meetings, making laws, and these laws which are not just left there, but laws which are going to be put in place, so that we reduce those people who waste most of their time in Rudo, BSO, just lying in shades.
They should be forced to go and work in the garden.
Exactly, Madam Speaker. That will help us. Thank you.
The government should bring up with price legislation. This is a system where the government can impose a minimum or a maximum price of commodities. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Yes, Honorable Lady.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Honorable Biobona Sida from Namwendwa. Men have forgotten their laurels. So men, you need to wake up and remember your laurels. Second to that, you refuse your wives to join groups so that they can gain knowledge, they can know how to save and bring income to your homes. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Members. Men have dropped their responsibilities. Yes, wind up, Honorable Member, and can we have you to wind up?
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes.
I'm Honorable Kabale Richard from Namwendwa. The main cause of violence...
Move closer to the microphone.
...is those ladies are just sitting idle. Sorry, except you, those ladies who are here. But some are just lying idle. The reason is that if the man go out to look for money, then you left those ladies sitting idle, such that this lady can just wait for the money
to come. Okay, thank you. So
what
the women should also wake up as men go to look for money.
is that those ladies give them animals like cow and the hen such that they can do what? Rear those chicks.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Member. Yes.
I want to thank you, Madam Speaker, Right Honorable Agnes Nandutu, and the NTV team for having given the people of Kamuli this opportunity to participate in the People's Parliament. We've sincerely enjoyed it. I want to say and to emphasize that poverty is to each individual households. So individual efforts by individual households will see us out of poverty. When they say the people of Busoga are poor, they are not referring to each of us separately. They add up the sum, but if we did individual efforts, we would be out of this poverty. Secondly, I also want to say this. There are enough laws to protect our mothers, to protect our wives, and to protect our girl child. Let those responsible for the laws do each role they can do to make sure that our women, our children, and our mothers are protected. Each individual here has a role to play. If you hear that your neighbor next door is being harassed, inform the relevant authorities or cause the village council to meet and discipline the husband. If it is the wife that is misbehaving, we could also confront them as a collective force. Then we will have less gender-based violence in our homes. Once again, thank you all for coming to participate in this very, very useful People's Parliament. I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Member. Let's hope when you go back to Parliament, you will ensure that commercial farming is advocated down there in the National Parliament. But also the Honorable Members of Kamuli District, it has been noted that you have to change your attitude, you have to wake up and dig, you have to wake up and work as government comes in to help you. The powers that be, you have heard the voice of the people of Kamuli speaking in People's Parliament. There is no demonstration, it is only the platform given to the people of Uganda to air out issues that affect them. And the people of Kamuli have aired out issues that affect them. I am still Agnes Nandutu, the Speaker of People's Parliament. Until next Saturday, I adjourn this Parliament.